What is up, everybody? We are back with another weekly NFL picks. Week number 6, if you're keeping track, or if you're Brett, week number 4.
Nah, I wasn't keeping track of the last one either.
All
Yeah, yeah. We still
right.
on week three.
Week three.
Yeah, we still on week three.
Yo, if we on week 3, our record's looking rough. Ugh.
What are we sitting at right now? Do I even
So,
want to know?
so we got the Thursday night game wrong. We're
Yes.
men of our words. We picked Chicago, and Washington won. Which, for the record, I would just like to establish Carson Wentz undefeated in Thursday night football. That's a real thing. Anywho,
Also, for the record, Chicago threw that game.
they did that fumble
No,
by their punt returner.
that's
Whoa.
not even what ended it.
That was the beginning of the end.
It was the beginning, but what ended it was their coaches don't know how to make play calls.
That's true. But our current records are with 4 pushes, so 4 ties on both of our ends.
Mhm.
I'm 35. You're 36. Correct. Which means I'm 42 and you're 41 incorrect. You're basically -5, and by proxy I'm -7. It's really just a 1-game flip. It's just so weird how 1 game can count for two bad points. But we're right next to each other on the bad side of this statistic. We need to fix this.
Yeah. We just need a good week where we just get everything right.
Yeah.
Sway it back in our favor.
Well, I'm gonna be real with you. That's not gonna happen this week because we've
No.
previously discussed our picks and we got 4 different ones. So one of us is not getting everything right this week. That's facts.
This could be the week you overtake me.
You know what we need? We need Green Bay to not lose to the Giants like they did last week.
And we need them to
beat
win.
The Jets this week.
Yeah, we need them to win by a lot.
Like a lot.
I need them to come out here and redeem themselves.
I needed
for
them
that
to beat
embarrassment.
The
Dude, it was so fucking frustrating.
I needed them to beat
watching that. How do you throw that game away?
I don't know. I'm gonna be real with you though. I saw something on Twitter, and I don't know what was going on in this video, but it was the Giants Green Bay game. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Video. I don't know what.
Look,
for anybody was working.
So for anybody that doesn't know, there is a video, and it's very bad angle, where there's a dude from the Giants. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head right now, but he is standing there and he's just kind of like shaking a little bit, he's kind of bumping.
He's got his cheeks out, right?
I wasn't going to bring that up yet. I was going to bring that up second. But he does. And there's someone in front of him pumping water or pumping something. And it looks very suspect. And then you just notice homie's got his cheeks out in the middle of this game. And I'm like, look, I understand the angle's bad and he's probably pumping water. Or maybe he's like helping massage homie's like thigh or something. Why are your cheeks out?
Yeah, I didn't quite get. I understand that's like the worst angle possible. I'm sure they weren't doing what it looks like, but it definitely looks like they were doing something they shouldn't be doing.
Shit. We're in public.
This man took a Viagra before the game and it caught up with him.
It's a bad rep on the league. And you know what else is a bad rep on the league? These crazy ass roughing the passer calls. They're all over the place.
It's horrible.
They're all over the place. That's not roughing the passer. That is roughing the passer. There's no consistency.
And this past week, it was 2 situations that were game costly roughing the passer.
Well, no. I mean...
Was it not game costly?
It was for Atlanta against Tampa.
Yeah. I guess Kansas City was... Yeah, Kansas City was still... Yeah.
But it could have been game costly.
Right.
But the biggest issue is we're calling roughing the passer on these moments like that, but we're not calling it 3 weeks ago, when Tua Tagovailoa gets whipped and slammed into the ground. Like, what are we supposed to do? What is a defense supposed to do?
Yeah, how are you supposed to do your job as a person whose job is to tackle the quarterback?
Like, what? It's just, it's so bad. And then there was one this week. I don't remember where it was, but there was one this week where somebody got hit directly in the legs, and you're not allowed to hit the quarterback in the legs.
Yeah, that was the Thursday's game.
Was it this? Was it?
Yeah. They tackled Fields right in the legs.
Yep. Got hit directly in the legs. Didn't call passing. Roughing the passer.
No, I'm not entirely sure it was his fault. It kind of even looked like he might have got tripped up, but it doesn't change.
It doesn't change the rules.
What happened? Right. Like if a quarterback got fell on, it doesn't mean that the defensive player meant to fall on him with all of his weight. It just happened. It's still roughing the passer.
Yeah, we need more consistency. That's what we need.
Then you have these calls where the quarterback is barely hit, or the way he's hit
is
the defender does everything they can to not crush the quarterback, and they're still calling
that Kansas City play. He got a sack. He got a strip sack.
Yeah, he got a strip sack.
Took the ball and braced his impact to not land all 400 pounds on Carr.
He did
and got up and ran away.
Everything possible.
And they called him for rough. Like I don't know how you play football if you can't do what he did in that play. So here's the thing. I've come to expect it with Brady. It's Brady. I don't know what it is about Tom Brady. I don't know if he is legitimately paying off the refs, or the refs just love him because his games are more paid, like a better paycheck, or what it is. But Brady always has some bullshit going on. Always.
I mean, he even came out and was like, yeah, I didn't think that was roughing the passer. I mean, it's after the fact. In the moment, it doesn't necessarily mean anything.
You're going to take the penalty.
You would be dumb not to.
Like, right? I'm not going to be mad at you taking advantage of a bad call.
No. I do respect that he came out and was like, yeah, I didn't think that was roughing the passer.
But I come to expect that shit when it comes to Brady. It just happens with him for some reason. But like in that game with Kansas City and the Vegas, that one was ass. But anywho, we got to fix the roughing the passer situation. I mean, that's all it is to it. But let's go ahead and get into these picks. We got 13 picks to do for y'all today. Just in case y'all forgot, Washington did beat Chicago on Thursday night. Additionally, the Tennessee Titans, the Houston Texans, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Detroit Lions are all on a bye week this week. That's why they're in that section that says bye week. If you didn't know,
for the record, these teams need it.
I mean, Tennessee didn't. They got the hot hand. They're on a 3-game win streak.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
They're on a 3-game win streak. You know, they had the hot hand. This might be bad for Tennessee. And I'm going to be real. I would hate to have my bye week this early in the season.
Yeah.
I want my bye week at like week 9, week 10.
It's unfortunate placement because you want the reprieve going into that final stretch.
Right.
But nice for these guys, they might need this week to figure out what's going on. Especially the Raiders.
Especially the Raiders and Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit on a 3-game losing streak. I don't know.
But going into the first game of this week, the second game of this week, I should say, we got Baltimore heading to the New York Giants.
We do.
Giants plus 5.5.
Yeah.
What you thinking for that?
Plus 5.5. The Giants. That's a good amount, and the Giants are playing some damn good football. It's hard to take away. Like, the Giants have lost one game this year, and it was against the best defense in the league, in Dallas. But their defense is ass. And Lamar Jackson might be the most dynamic player on offense in the league today. It's impossible for me to take New York here. They're playing great football. They really are. But Lamar is finna put up a combined 450 yards between passing and throwing. He's that good.
Yeah, I think Baltimore is the perfect team to exploit all the holes that exist within the Giants. Not to say too much, but kind of expose a lot of their flaws that haven't been seen, because I think a lot of the teams have been underplaying.
Yeah.
Dallas being the exception, where they're overplaying what everybody theoretically should be doing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that'd be an interesting game to see. If the Giants pull this one out, like no one can argue that they're not legit.
Yeah, they're legit at that point.
You can't argue it.
No. And if the Giants pull this one out, it's official. The NFC East is not the worst division in football anymore.
No, it's a dynamic swing.
Like
but
they go from NFC least to NFC beasts because they're going crazy right now. 4-1, 4-1, 5-0, and the Commanders. I'm just saying.
But I'm also choosing Baltimore. I think they're just the better team.
Now, here's a little fun side guess. I just want to see what you think. A little side thing for the Baltimore Giants game.
Mm-hmm.
Who rushes for more, Saquon or Lamar?
Saquon.
It might be Lamar, man.
I'm gonna say Saquon because they're going to force him to run.
Yeah.
Their offense is contingent on Saquon running for 100 yards.
But is Baltimore's defense good enough to stop Saquon versus the Giants' defense stopping Lamar?
Maybe.
I also think Saquon, but that would be a fun bet. Like, I could definitely see that going either way. I wouldn't be shocked if Lamar had more rushing yards than Saquon. I wouldn't be shocked.
No, it's Lamar.
Yeah, it's Lamar. Anyway, let's move on. We got Jacksonville heading to division rival Indianapolis. Jacksonville getting 2 points going into Indy. What are your thoughts?
I think I have to go with the Jags again. They weren't the most impressive last week.
No, they weren't.
But the Colts haven't been impressive all season.
They have the same amount of wins.
They do, surprisingly. I don't know. I've just liked what I've seen from the Jags. I don't know what it is with the Colts. I mean, I know they're having running back issues. I don't know if
they're also on that quarterback carousel trying to figure out who their starting quarterback's going to be. They've had 4 different starting quarterbacks in 3 years.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of it. I'm with you. I'm taking Jacksonville. I don't feel great about it. This could very easily be one we both get wrong. But
yeah, I mean, for all we know,
it depends on which Indy shows up. Is it the Indy that got shut out by Jacksonville not that long ago? Because that was only like 4 weeks ago. Or is it the Indy that beat the Chiefs the week after?
I don't.
You know what I mean?
Know.
Like,
yeah,
Indy's so all over the place, and that's what the worst is when you're so inconsistent that you could be the best or worst team.
Well, in the league because they have a lot of the pieces. They just have to put it together.
Yep.
And that's a big problem. Speaking of problems, you have the third string quarterback for the Patriots, Zappy. Going to Cleveland. Cleveland minus 2.5 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do. I'm taking Cleveland.
Taking Cleveland. I mean, that's fair.
I think that. So let's establish this first. Nick Chubb is the only player in the league right now that has 100+ rushing yards in every game so far this season. He's the only one. He's the only one that is establishing the run game legitimately every week. New England does not know how to stop running games at all. They are a pass shutdown team, not a run shutdown team. Chubb is finna have a field day. And Jacoby Brissett is good enough to get the job done. Brian Zappe, or no, whatever his first name is, I just combined their second string and third string quarterbacks because of Brian Hoyer and whatever Zappe's first name is. I have no idea really what his first name is right now. But Zappe is a rookie. He doesn't really know what he's doing. And he's going against a really, good team. Not elite, but good. And I don't know. I could see it going either way, but I'm leaning more towards Cleveland with a solid running game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards the opposite. I'm going with the mindset of it's not necessarily Zappe versus the Cleveland Browns. It's Bill Belichick, and it's hard to ignore that. It's hard to pass that up. And there were certain things I saw out of the Patriots that suggest to me like they might still just be able to run what they've been running.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. For me, it's much more of a gut instinct than it is like
this one
logic. Because yeah, I mean, logically, I would probably go with you in the fact that like the Browns
on paper
should be a stronger team. But there's something about just not being able to discount Bill Belichick and what he can put together.
I get it.
So I'm taking the Pats in this.
Totally fair.
Let's move on to the next game.
We got Cincinnati heading down to New Orleans. The Saints getting 2.5 at home. What are your thoughts?
I wasn't necessarily expecting this.
No, me neither.
I know the Bengals struggled in the beginning, but I feel like they've been picking themselves up
a little bit, piece by piece.
Yeah, and like reformulating the team that you expect them to be.
Yep.
I'm kind of expecting them to go on a bit of a tear.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bengals got this one, personally.
I think the biggest problem here is who's the quarterback for New Orleans. It's Andy Dalton. I can't pick Andy Dalton. I'm being serious. Like, I wouldn't pick Winston either, but if Taysom Hill was starting, I might swing towards New Orleans. I might.
See, I think if Winston was starting, I might swing towards New Orleans.
I don't trust Winston.
It's not necessarily that I trust Winston. I like the combo between him and Hill.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like how dynamic that like quarterback relationship can be.
Oh, I do too.
And how much it can confuse defenses. I don't think Andy Dalton has that.
Andy Dalton definitely doesn't. It's a revenge game for Dalton though. Keep in mind he spent the first mega portion of his career with Cincinnati, and he's going to take a fat L by them. I'm taking Cincy. So
agreed.
Let's move on.
We have the Bucks. Tom Brady and the Bucks going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh getting 9.5.
That's so much.
It is.
That's so much.
It's a lot.
It's so much. But I'm still going to take Tampa.
See, I'm going the opposite here. I think that Pittsburgh will keep it close enough. I think Tampa wins this game.
I don't think Pittsburgh keeps it close enough. Pittsburgh's ass. They've won one game, and it was against Cincinnati, and the only reason they won that game is because Cincinnati didn't have a snapper for their field goals, or they would have lost that game.
How good have the Bucks been playing, though?
Have the Bucks been playing great? No, but they've been playing on a level different than Pittsburgh.
Maybe.
Different than a Pittsburgh that almost lost with 5 turnovers on their side. Come on, dog. There ain't no earth Brady's throwing 5 picks like fucking like Joe Burrow did in week 1.
Look, I'm very confident the Bucs win. I think the Steelers keep it within 9.
Let's just do a little fact checking real quick. Let's see. Pittsburgh. Let's check Pittsburgh's track record so far this year, because we know it's losses, but we don't know how bad it's been.
Right.
Let's check their track record. Week 1, they beat the Bengals just barely.
Mm-hmm.
Then they lost to the Patriots by 3. They lost to the Browns by 12. They lost to the Jets by 4. And last week they lost to the Bills by 35.
Fuck, I might need to change my answer.
Let's go ahead and check out the Bucs real quick.
I didn't realize they got beat that bad last week.
The Bucs, they beat the Cowboys in week 1. They beat the Saints by 10. They just barely lost to the Packers, and that was with a second-string quarterback. Or no, not with a second string. That was when New England played them, and they almost won that. That was just a rough game on both sides. Then they lost to the Chiefs just barely. So their 2 losses are to the Packers and the Chiefs. And then last week they got back on form, beating the Falcons. I mean, none of their wins have been that down.
I really wish you didn't sway me like this. I'll change.
Okay. You gonna change?
Yeah.
You gonna not pick Pittsburgh?
I'm gonna not pick Pittsburgh.
All right.
Let's go with the Bucs.
Let me go ahead and just change that in there for you. That's probably a wise choice, though. Now, here's what's going to be fucked up when Pittsburgh wins this game.
I'm gonna be pissed.
I know you are.
I mean, that's just how.
This works. For sure. Let's move on. San Francisco at Atlanta. Atlanta getting 4.5. I think we can just easily agree right here. That's not enough.
Yeah, clearly the Falcons are gonna win.
Yeah, of course. San Francisco is just the better team.
Yeah, we're picking San Fran.
Better defense, better offense, better quarterback, better
Papa
pizza.
John's.
Yo, real talk. Can we quickly talk about the fact that Papa John's is not the official pizza of the NFL anymore? It's Little Caesars.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Dude, Little Caesars been blowing up.
Hey, I'm gonna be real. If they bring that pretzel pizza back, I'm gonna be blowing up. You know what I'm saying?
Low prices for relatively decent pizza.
They bring that pretzel pizza back, your boy's gonna hit 400 pounds. I'm gonna be a lineman. Anyway.
All right.
Let's move
on. The Jets and myself will be going to Green Bay.
And picking up a dub.
Yeah, Green Bay's gonna win this. They better win by like 20 points, or I'm not gonna be satisfied because they have a lot of making up to do. I'm sick of it.
What if the Jets win this?
I'm a cry. I have box seats at a Packers game. I'm a cry.
I mean, the Jets not playing bad. Didn't they put up 40 against the Dolphins last week?
Dude, that was wild. I did not expect it to go that bad for the Dolphins. Bridgewater gets injured. When I saw, when I heard some random name at quarterback on the Dolphins, I'm like, well, this ain't gonna be
good. Not good. Yeah, it was something Thompson.
Yeah, something like that.
That's not good.
Man, that's not great. But yeah, I think Green Bay can do this. The things they need to fix are so simple to fix.
Agreed.
They just need to do it. They just have to do it.
Agreed. I think Green Bay's the better team here. I think that's not up for debate. 7.5 is a lot.
Yeah.
For any game, but since Matt LaFleur took over the team, Green Bay is 9-0 in a game following a loss. They just don't lose back-to-back games. They don't do it. It's not in their DNA. And so if there was ever
it doesn't happen again.
If there was ever a bounce back game, it would be against the Jets. But If you decide you want to lose against both New York teams in back-to-back weeks, that's on you.
It's literally a choice.
It is a choice.
Like by the coaching staff. Yeah. It is literally a choice for them to lose these games.
It's going to be a choice if y'all lose this one. And it's going to be a bad choice.
The players are way too good on this team to be losing like that. But
yo, if Green Bay loses this game, people finna be upset.
Oh, you think?
Oh, you think? Aren't you a owner of the Packers?
Fuck you. No.
Fix that shit. Up next, we got Minnesota heading to Miami. Miami getting +3. If Tua was playing, I would take Miami.
Same.
Tua's not playing, I'm taking Minnesota.
Agreed.
I don't think there's much else to be said.
Nah, there really isn't. Everyone knows how this is.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Yep. Panthers at the Rams. Rams -10.
I
hate it.
So much.
I hate this spread. And I'm being 100. I'm taking it. I'm taking Carolina purely because of the spread. I don't think they're going to win. I'm not even all that confident the spread's going to help them. I don't like that spread.
I don't like that spread.
The Rams are too inconsistent for me to take them with these numbers. Too inconsistent.
So,
for all I know, they're going to have like 12 turnovers and it's going to be a fucking 3-point game. I can't.
I want to take the Panthers. They just fired Matt Rule. For whatever reason, teams love to play really well when they fire a coach. But
it is the Panthers.
But
I get it, man. I get it.
Look, here's the thing. The Rams need a bounce-back game. They just lost to Dallas. They need a bounce-back game so that they can try and regain some grasp on their division because they're falling behind now.
Yeah, and they'll probably win.
And Carolina is not starting either of their first-round draft pick quarterbacks. Baker and Sam Darnold are both not starting this week for Carolina.
Who's starting for Carolina?
PJ Walker.
Isn't he the guy
from the XFL?
From the XFL? Oh, man. Hold on.
I can't, in good conscience, take a team in any scenario that is not starting either of their overall #1 draft pick quarterbacks. I can't do it. I can't. I want to.
I'm gonna stick with my pick on this one. I'm not gonna change 2 of my picks, but I'm much less confident than I was a second ago. I didn't realize this. This is news to me.
It's as far as I know, it's PJ Walker.
Well, let's move on before I change my mind.
He gonna change by the end of this video, y'all.
Nah, we ain't doing that. All right. What's up with these birds?
The bird gauntlet? We got the Cardinals on their way to Seattle. Seattle getting 2.5. What are your thoughts?
So this was tough for me because Seattle hasn't been playing horribly necessarily. Geno Smith is not bad. And the Cardinals are up and down on whether or not they're a good team. I'm gonna give it to the Cardinals on this one. I know what they're capable of,
right?
And that's what's hard for me to bet against because I know what they can do.
Sure.
And if I bet against that, that's when they're gonna do it. So sure. I'm not gonna put myself in that situation.
So out of all the things we disagreed on this week, this was the one that was easiest for me to disagree with you on, which means I'm probably wrong. Seattle has the #1 offense in the league right now, statistically.
Yeah.
#1. Geno Smith is leading the league in QBR. And Arizona's Arizona.
True.
And Seattle's getting points. If Arizona was getting points, I would probably sway the other way. But Seattle getting points in Seattle with as good as Geno's been playing, and Kyler Murray still might be recovering from that Modern Warfare 2 beta, I gotta take Seattle. You shake your head all you want. I'm never letting that man go on this Call of Duty shit. And that game actually drops next month.
Let's move on to a tougher pick. Bills headed to Kansas City. What you got for this one, man?
All right, so I've gone back and forth on this one.
Yeah, same.
But in Kansas City, with Kansas City getting points, I feel like it's illegal to bet against Patrick Mahomes.
I agree. If this was in Buffalo, I'd probably pick Bills.
Or if Buffalo was getting points. It really goes down to who's getting points.
Man, this is a tough game. This is going to be a fun game to watch.
Or it's going to suck.
Oh, yeah. Or neither offense is going to be able to get anything going.
First play of both, like for both offenses, the quarterback just gets picked off, and that's the game for the rest of the game. Quarterbacks can't get shit done. I'm taking KC. It's just not right to bet against Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City with Kansas. They are home underdogs.
Yeah. I don't feel great about it.
I don't feel great about a lot of these this week. This week's rough.
How do you feel about the next game?
Better. I feel better about the next game than that game because I've done the math. And the math says Dallas in Philly getting 6.5. Dallas is a smart bet. Does Dallas win the game? I don't know. But Dallas's defense can control football games. And Philadelphia's offense has not been super dynamic. And when they have been good, it's been against very rudimentary defenses. And Philly's defense hasn't been all that great. And Dallas's offense has been very basic, but very successful. And all of those elements together result in a close game, slightly favoring Dallas, in my opinion.
I'm also picking Dallas for a lot of similar reasons. Obviously, the Eagles have managed to just win games. Whether their offense has been messy, whether their defense has been messy, they've managed to win. So even if they do manage to win against arguably the best defense in the league,
it's going to be close.
It's going to be close.
I agree.
I think 6.5 points is too much to give to Dallas for me to not bet.
I just think it's hard in this game. It's hard to pick against Dallas because Dallas is not letting people score a lot on them, and Philly is.
Yeah.
And so something's going to have to give. And I think it's more likely for Philly's offense to cave than it is Dallas's defense. Just based on the opponents that they've both played so far. Dallas playing multiple playoff teams, both teams that were in the Super Bowl last year, whereas Philly's been playing a lot of teams that just aren't good.
It'll also be a good test for Dallas's offense.
Yeah, it'll be good to see if Cooper Rush can do something against.
It's not like Philly's defense has been slump. They've been making plays.
They just haven't been. They haven't
consistent.
Been consistent, exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but I think this is going to be one of the best games of the week. The fact that it's a Sunday night football game is exciting.
Yeah.
And we'll move on to Monday Night Football.
A game I did not have to think about too much. Broncos at the Chargers. Chargers. Cool.
I have decided that until Denver shows me something, I can't pick them.
No, really can't.
I don't know what's going on with Russell Wilson, but Broncos country, let's flop. Because that's all he's been doing this season. He's been just shit in the bed.
Russell Wilson has looked like a rookie quarterback.
Russell Wilson looks like a husk of his former self.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I've seen that he's perfectly capable of doing the stuff that he's done, but he's not doing it.
Russell Wilson looks like 70-year-old Ric Flair wrestling. Like, he still knows what he's doing, but he can't do any of it the way he used to.
Yeah.
And until he shows me that he can snap back into it, I can't pick Denver anymore.
You can't.
Unless Denver's getting a shit ton of points against a bad team, and even then I'm going to have to think about it.
Right.
But against a good team like the Chargers, it's not even a thought. I have to take the Chargers here. So looking at the picks after you changed your mind about Pittsburgh and Carolina, you sticking to
run the picks.
Okay. After just changing your mind about Pittsburgh because you feel good about PJ Walker against the Rams,
shut your mouth.
We have 3 games different. I took Cleveland. You took New England. I took the Rams. You took PJ Walker. And I took the Seahawks. You took the Cardinals. Everything else we agreed on. So
we'll see how this shakes out.
So when Seattle and the Rams both win, and then New England wins, we'll be tied. It'll be fantastic. But that is going to do it for week 6. Just as a reminder, we will do the same thing we did this past week. This video, we will comment on it next Thursday with our picks for the Thursday night game. Please feel free to do the same. Go ahead and post your picks for this game, for all of these games, if you would like to. Tell us what you think we got right, what you think we got wrong, who we're sleeping on, and who we're overestimating. And while you're at it, tell somebody you love them. I don't really know why, but just do it.
You never know.
Yeah. But with all that being said, we appreciate you hanging out with us. I'm sorry that you decided to spend this much time looking at our ugly mugs. We suggest you make better, life decisions. But if you want to keep making bad ones, we'll keep supporting you.
Yeah, don't worry, Daniel. Might be ugly, but I still love you, buddy. And on that note, bye.
Oh, all right. I'm the ugly one.
I didn't say yours.